I feel this energy of like wanting movement and a connection from the past, or feeling kind of stuck on someone, or like wanting something from somebody, but also feeling like there's no movement. Feeling like you've been stuck in, I heard the word impasse. Impasse. So perhaps there's been an impasse here for some time. The song is like, ain't too proud to beg. I feel like there is a little bit of pride here. Like, I feel like there is somebody holding back out of pride, or someone here holding back because they're not sure whether or not they can fully give into this. And for some of you, you're holding back on moving beyond this out of pride because you're like, I really want this. So there's a prideful aspect of you that's like, I'm not ready to move on. But there's this other part of you that's like, oh, I also want to be free from anything that feels stuck. So you're both kind of operating from a prideful place, from an egoistic place. It's like this person's operating out of pride where they're kind of holding back because they want to do things on their own terms. And I feel like you're holding back in some ways out of pride because you don't want to let this go, because you've invested a lot of time into this. But you also do really want an opportunity here still. Okay, 1, 2, 3 in the room. I feel like you're desiring progress. You want movement. You felt this is very stuck or still. And I feel like there's this energy of like, you want growth. You're willing to continue to reflect. You're willing to continue to explore this, but like you want some type of confirmation that it's going to be worthwhile. I feel like that's where you are in this collective. You're like, just give me a sign. Just give me a sign. Just give me a confirmation. Just give me some type of indicator that being here is going to be worthwhile, or continuing to reflect, or continuing to explore, or invest in this is going to pay off, or it's going to be worth my while. I feel like that's where you are in this collective. And I feel for many of you, yeah, maybe you fear that there's a third party involved. Some of you fear that. Some of you know that. There's this fear here over external parties, and maybe a concern over loyalty. Interesting. What is the energy on this person's side? Dang, this person dreams about you. So this person tries to not think about the fact that they feel like they fumbled you. But when they try to stop thinking about you, all of that energy shows up in the dream state, in the astral. So they end up receiving a lot of messages within their dreams. What are the messages that saying in this person's dreams about my collective? That if they don't come forward, then they will lose you for good. And that it's possible that there could be like a burying themselves in work to lessen the pain or the discomfort of this. I got you, bees. I got you. So yeah, some of you are, there's this energy of American girl. So some of you, there's an American connection. Some of you are dealing with someone with the initial T, P, H. Okay. You could be initial T, P, H, A. Okay. G. I feel this energy though of this. Yeah. This person feeling like they don't have enough to offer you, but they don't want to lose you. And yeah, they feel like right now they're not in a position to make any big changes, but they also feel like they owe that to you. They owe that to you. Interesting. Okay. Tell me, what do we need to know though? Specifically about this person's energy towards my collective right now. Yeah, definitely a period here of distance. So for most of you, this is someone in no contact, separation, disconnect. And they are definitely isolating themselves in their thoughts about you. Like questioning, I heard, is what I have enough? So yeah, definitely some of you, this is someone in the third party, or someone who is focusing on family. Focusing a lot on family. And giving up what they feel like is a wish fulfillment with you because they feel like they have to focus on their family. And because they have faulty belief systems here that could be forcing them to block how they actually feel. The truth of their heart is that their heart is with you. That's undoubtable. Okay. They definitely feel most connected to you emotionally. But yeah, I feel this energy of them focusing on family. So this could be parents, right? Doesn't have to be another relationship. Could be parents, could be like elderly people in their life that they have to take care of. I feel this energy of like obligation, dependence. And they are blocking their emotions. They're blocking their emotions. Okay. What does my collective feel about this relationship at this time? Yeah, we've been seeing this energy in the collective. Okay. I feel this energy of you looking at this person like they're not telling the truth. They're not telling you the truth. Or they're not telling themselves the truth. So for some of you, you're looking at this person right now. Maybe in the past you would have wanted an apology for them. But now maybe you're asking whether or not they'll ever apologize. Or whether they'll ever come forward to ask for forgiveness. Because maybe you feel like they don't even know what they'd be asking for forgiveness for. Because again, they're kind of living dishonestly. Okay? And some of you just think they're never going to tell you the truth about the situation. The current state of this relationship right now is both of you trying to be happy elsewhere, but feeling like it's not true to you. Feeling like your hearts are with each other, but trying to be happy elsewhere. Projecting like what our desires are for happiness into our circumstances, but like not actually feeling happy. And also just trying to pause and rest and reflect. I feel like there's this energy of like pausing, resting, and reflecting. And I will say, I feel like that's the right focus. Because in this collective on your side, you feel like you've done everything you can do. You've done everything you can do. And at this time, I feel for many of you, because you're in no contact separation, your view of this relationship is that you have to rest on this, or you have to detach from this for this person to either make a choice or to be able to rebalance the scales here. And you also feel like to protect your relationship with yourself or to be able to maintain your self-respect, you can't even communicate with this person, break no contact, try to make plans with this person, because you feel like every time you've tried to do that in the past, they have made you feel silly or they've thrown something back in your face. So it's like, you're like, I'm just not going to seek out anything from you. For many of you, you're not seeking anything from this person. Okay? Tell me about this person's energy specifically to my collective. Whoa. Could be a water sign that you're dealing with. I also feel earth sign. I feel Virgo, Pisces, Libra, Leo, Cancer. Okay? Aries. This is somebody who has been suffering without you. Suffering without you. Trying to move away from this, being pulled back to it. Trying to move away from this, being pulled back from it. Back and forth. Back and forth energy here. And it's like in their heart, they crave you. They crave you. And they view you at this time just giving up on them because you deserve better, and like actually feel like that is the case. Now, do I feel like you've actually given up on this person? No. But from their view, you've given up because you're not taking action, you're not communicating, you're not making any type of big bold gesture towards them just because you feel like it's a waste of your energy. It's a waste of your energy. So I feel this energy on this collective of you still hope that there's a new opportunity here, but it would have to be new. It would have to be brand new in order for you to be open. And you feel like this person is so limited by their fears that you don't really have hope that they will come forward, but you do hope that they do. See, there's the distinction. You don't feel optimistic. You really don't, truthfully. But there's a small part in your heart that's like, I hope they get it together. I hope they come through. I hope they're able to face their fears. I hope they are able to come forward with a solid offer. But if they are not, if they don't come forward with a solid offer, again, you are strong enough to know better. You are courageous and brave enough to be able to resist this. That's where you are. So yeah, you do still have hope with this person, but I feel like the hope that you have is that they could become as strong as you are. That they could come forward and activate their higher self and match your strength, match your power, match your courage, match your bravery in order to be able to initiate a new beginning. But if they do not meet you where you are, you won't go back. You won't go back. Yes, I have 2 spots left. 2 spots left. So I feel like you know this person is probably going to regret not making this decision, but yeah, you're not trying to convince them anymore. Maybe you did in the past, okay? But they long for you. This masculine energy, divine masculine, longs for you, okay? And I feel, yeah, for many of you, this is somebody who really does feel a strong doubt within themselves at this time as it relates to this relationship. For some of you, there's a physical distance here that's a factor. But I definitely feel for all of you in this collective, there is separation. And a long time separation. Like months, years, like a really long separation. And like a question for a long time as to whether this is over because there's been silence for so long. Feels like there's been no words, or there's been this snowballing or this frozen period for so long that I feel like both of you question, like, is this over? And like there's this also this other question of like, or are we just avoiding an actual ending? Or are we just avoiding an actual ending? Or are we just allowing an ending to actually take place? This is such a challenging collective because I feel that many of you like aren't even really sure what you're dealing with here anymore. But at the same time, there's still this part of you that does hold space in your heart for this person. Maybe you don't know why. Maybe you're like, wow, that's crazy. Silly me. Like, but I still feel like that is true. Like, I still feel that many of you in this collective still feels this place in your heart for this person to come forward, for a second chance if they actually have an opportunity to offer you. If they actually come through with a new energy. If it is official status, where you would have an exclusive relationship and be seeing each other openly, being the operative word, openly. Because everything before, I feel like in this relationship, was shrouded in secrecy. Shrouded in secrecy. For some of you, this summer has been a time of enlightenment. For many, this is a twin flame that you're connected to. You have shared feelings, shared reflections, maybe even shared attempts to let this go, and then repeated patterns that bring you back to each other. Feeling like you've learned all the lessons you need to learn, so you're not even really sure why you're still connected to this person. You're having a difficult time, like even knowing why. For some of you, it does feel, though, like this person does want to come in and like not only just make up for lost time, but in this perfect world, this idyllic dream world that they've created in their heart, in their mind, because I feel this person thinks a lot. I feel this person being very isolated, like spending a lot of time by themselves and spending a lot of time thinking about you. But in those moments, it's like they think about this dream world in which the two of you are able to not only have commitment, but marriage, like a future together. Like that's the world that they envision. Like that's the fantasy that they have. And I feel like they've been running from this truth for a long time. But for some of you, this person communicates with you telepathically. Like you hear their voice, or they actually are communicating with you. Like you can hear words from them specifically. And for others, they're connecting with you in your dreams, like showing up in your dreams. Even when you haven't even seen or talked to this person for some of you months or years, they occasionally show up in dream state, or you hear their voice, or you see their name. So there's still this strong presence. And the reasons why most of you are still connected to this person is because this is the deepest connection you've ever experienced. The deepest connection. It still feels very important to both of you. Like neither of you have let this fire go out because you've never been able to replicate this depth. So it's challenging to give this up. It's really challenging to give this up for both of you, I feel. I feel both of you still holding on to this in the energy. And I feel on this person's side, damn, this is somebody who longs for you, craves you, wants you, desires you, but they feel hopeless. So there's a lot of despair. There's this energy of like falling apart, but not necessarily even recognizing that they have the power to change this outcome. This wounded masculine energy needs to find that power within them that says, I can make a decision to be able to lead with intention based on the power of my heart, based on the bravery and courage that I have. Like I can choose this new beginning. I can choose this partnership. I can choose a divine union with a partner who matches my energy, as opposed to settling in whichever other circumstance or pushing you away because they feel like you're not, you're too good for them. They're not good enough for you. Being able to say like, no, I'm brave and courageous enough to allow myself to seek out an energy that is equivalent. And I feel the fears that they've had for a long time here are relative to the fact that they had issues with confidence, or they were very intimidated by your strength. For some of you, even though you're the feminine energy here, you're the more powerful energy. Or you're the stronger energy. It's like maybe you're more sure, you're more certain. You even could have like a good logical understanding of circumstances. Maybe you're more strategic. It's like, I feel within this feminine collective, you come through as being more intimidating, and or like you lead your life with intention, where this person is a little bit more waffly. It's like this masculine energy is still finding their footing. They're still finding that state of groundedness. It's like they're not leading with authority. Where in this feminine collective, I feel you kicking butt and taking names. Like you're not just watching things and having things happen around you. Like you're making shit happen in your life. And we love to see it, okay? I do not get down with this modern divine feminine definition of saying feminine energies just have to sit around, pulling the petals off a flower and then drying them in a diary for 50 years and writing love poetry. I mean, as a feminine energy, you're incredibly powerful. And a feminine energy is responsible for the most powerful act that exists, which is the bringing of new life. And the feminine energy as well is the most powerful alchemist. So I feel for many of you in this collective, you have unlocked and activated the power of your feminine energy. And many of you are also activating in a way in which you've become even more intuitive since you've been connected to this energy, to the extent where you can see through a lot of what's happening here. And you have allowed yourself to move beyond any circumstances in which you are allowing your ego to keep you stuck. Where even initially where we said, Maybe you've invested a lot in this. You're having a difficult time moving on. I feel a lot of you in this feminine collective, that is true, but you're starting to shift. You're starting to shift into this place in which you're not willing to stay here if it means you have to compromise. If it means that you have to settle. If it means that you have to give up on what you know that you deserve. I feel this shifting into this energy of allowing yourself to leave behind something that feels like it doesn't provide you that safety and security that you need. And as a feminine energy, you need safety. You need security. You need a strong, stable foundation. Okay, to protect that reserve, that power that you have within. So, yeah, sometimes you reminisce about this person, but you do not want to stay in anything that requires you to play small or be in the dark. I get this energy of this person kind of concealing themselves, not showing a lot of themselves to the world, spending a lot of time alone. It's like there's some self-sabotaging behaviors. There's some overindulging behaviors. And I feel this feminine energy in the light, like authentically embodying this confident feminine energy and really feeling called at this time to be able to lead with that light. So I feel, yes, the mask is coming off on your side. You are willing to live in your truth. And for many of you as well, what we feel sometimes, or what is the mischaracterization sometimes, is that living in the light means you don't acknowledge pain, or that you're always like love and light and everything's sunshine and rainbows. That's not the case. Living in the light means you acknowledge that darkness and acknowledge that pain with compassion. Living in the light means I'm willing to reveal the truth of what is, right? That is where you are at this time. You're revealing the truth of what is, right? Bittersweets. Revealing the truth of what is, allowing yourself to live in said truth. And also rooting that truth in what feels like true fulfillment. Now that you've evolved in this path and you know who you are, you know what you want, you can illuminate that truth in order to be able to live a life that is fulfilling. Okay? And right now, what is fulfilling to you is showing off the fact that you have learned a high level of self-respect. A high level of self-respect, which you did not always have. I'm going to call a spade. I'm going to read you, roast you. I'm going to tell you how it is, okay? Some of you did not have self-respect in the past. Some of you were selling that milk for too low of a price, okay? You were giving out the samples at Costco. Some of you were not aware of the value of your energy, okay? Now you are. Now you are. You are very much aware of the value of your energy. You're very much aware of the power of your resources. You know that you are priceless, unique, and that you are not necessarily in this time in your life wanting to entertain any relationship that requires you to disrespect yourself. Okay? So, how does it impact this relationship here specifically? This person, I feel like, has been sabotaging this relationship by distracting themselves for a long time. I do see for most of you an apology. Okay? An apology. And I actually feel for some of you, this apology comes in pretty soon. And I say that because I feel many of you recently have released or cleansed any type of negative sentiment around this person. Like any resentment towards them or anger towards them or frustration, because you're like, we were kids, we were young, ipso facto things happened, it didn't work out, and you were evolving through this energy, you were rising above it, you were alchemizing, you were transmuting this pain into personal power, you have emerged on the other side like a phoenix from the ashes, you are looking at this circumstance and actually grateful in many ways for the experience. You don't have bad blood towards this person. You don't have bad blood. So you releasing the negative energy here is creating space for this person to come forward and apologize. And apologize. Because this apology is, in many ways, the first indication of them being able to live in their truth. Now, do I feel like it's going to be an apology that is completely open and honest? For some of you, maybe, but for most, no. I still feel like this is kind of a half-hearted apology. I feel like this is more just a desire to reconnect with you. It could be like, I don't know why we were disconnected for so long. Something that feels like it is small and still reflects some type of resistance. Okay? But I also feel like it means a lot to this person. It means a lot to this person. So, what is this collective's advice in terms of this energy? I feel for many of you, it is about just recognizing that your angels have been protecting you in this circumstance. Okay? Your angels have been protecting you. I want you to maintain your composure, even though you may be receiving this communication that feels like semi-honest. Semi-honest. I feel this energy of this person coming forward to almost try to be honest, but again, it feels like it comes from still an inauthentic or deceptive place. Just be mindful, okay? Just be mindful, because I feel like your angels really want you to ask yourself, is letting this person back in any capacity worth the disruption of my peace? Because for many, even when this apology comes through, or this explanation comes through, some of you, it's like an explanation. They still haven't made changes in their life. They still haven't made changes. They're still connected to either to this third party, this other situation. They're still in this some type of karmic conflict. They're still involved in something that in some ways nullifies any type of apology, okay? Or any type of omission of truth or offering of truth. So I feel, yeah, for many of you, it is about looking at this and saying, you know, I appreciate this, or receiving it to whichever degree that you choose to do so. But then pulling back and still seeing the situation objectively, okay? Stay grounded, because I feel like in this situation, this is somebody who can uproot you. This is somebody who does unground you. And I feel for many of you, you're in a better place than you've been in a long time. You have had enough time pass here where I feel like, yes, you're still connected to this person, but I don't see you yearning for them in the same way that you used to, and not in the same way they're yearning for you. For most, I feel like this person is still much more invested than you are, okay? So, final advice before we look at new love. What do we need to know about this collective? This is a beautiful spiritual experience for most of you. You could have recently seen a white feather, okay, or a dove. This is an opportunity for you to be able to learn and become enlightened and then share this insight more widely. I feel that in this connection, you have undergone this period of really pivotal and momentous change. Like, I'm seeing that you have iterated and incarnated many times throughout this journey of this connection. This feels like a very powerful, pivotal, really intense soul connection in which many of you, again, have continuously been reborn. It's like every time you thought that you were rooting yourself in a new identity, you were reborn again. You were reborn again. So there's all these instances of you continuously transforming and becoming new, and even becoming more accessible or aware to new gifts that you have. New gifts that are now available to you. For some of you, it made you more wise. For others, it gave you a higher perspective. For some, this is a connection that taught you to be very confident, to speak your truth. You know, really to be able to own your voice, your dominion, take up space. For others, it, allowed you to feel like you could trust your instincts. Maybe even helped you and tuned you into your intuition. But many of you, I feel this energy of shifting through these different phases within this connection. The current phase that you're in at this time is to shed old skin. Shed old skin. Because I feel like the last layer of skin here that's connected to this person is this layer we saw at the beginning, which was you still feeling in some way that you could hope this person would change and maybe they would come forward. Like something still being emotionally connected to them. But I feel within you, and I'm going to call you out in this collective, okay? Because I love you. I feel within you in this collective, even though there's a part of you that still has that hope, there's a bigger part of you that says your inner knowing is actually encouraging you to walk away from this. Or your inner knowing is saying, this is not healthy for you. This is not healing for you. This is just going to reopen wounds that you've already opened or triggered. This is a relationship that you have healed through. But if you stay connected to this relationship, it's only going to continue to hurt you or bring you back into that place of having your wounds reopened. It's like your higher self, your medicine mother, the shamanic energy within you is like, you in danger, okay? We've been through this. This last layer of skin that is still connected to this primordial version of self, this primitive version of self that was at the inception of this connection, is still holding on to this tiny semblance of hope or faith that this person will change. Because that's truly like, at the purest form of self is that ego, which says, I just want this person to value me enough to change. That old wound, I just want this person to love me enough to change, to choose me. But then all other aspects of your higher self, your spiritual self are screaming at you, saying, your inner knowing is clear. Your inner knowing is clear. That you deserve to love and let yourself be loved. To let yourself be loved. And for many of you, I feel like that is where you leave this connection. Okay? You see this relationship for what it was, but you also receive the gift that the universe is offering you at this time. The gift to be able to find a new state of being grounded, a new state of peace without someone choosing you, right? You choose yourself, and maybe that doesn't feel as good initially, but eventually choosing yourself will feel better than anyone else choosing you, okay? And for others, choosing yourself is not going to feel good immediately, okay? This is a warning. This is a warning, because some of you think, I'm going to choose myself and I'm immediately going to feel celebratory and I'm going to be frolicking in the sunset and I'm going to feel happier than I've ever felt. Most of you, that will not be the case. You will choose yourself, it'll feel uncomfortable because you haven't done it most of your life. It's not something you're used to. It's not something you're familiar with. And some part of you sought out validation or being chosen by others because that felt more comforting. The more time that you choose yourself, the more time that you get used to that energy of prioritizing yourself, what actually makes you feel better is looking back and saying, wow, I made the right decision. I respected myself. I stayed committed. I stood my ground. I maintained a boundary. That growth, that reflection of that growth, that awareness of that growth, that's where you get the feel goods, okay? And that's a feel good that's not temporary. That's a feel good that continues to be with you, right? Feeling good about the decision you've made over time, you can take that with you as you evolve. That's not this temporary source of validation or gratification. That is something that is now intrinsically part of who you are. So stand your ground, okay? Stand your ground and reap the rewards that come from standing your ground, okay? I hope this message was helpful for my collective, sending so much love, positive energy, and abundance. If you enjoyed that collective message, 777 down below. Let's do some new love messages, why don't we? For those of you who want new love messages, let me know down below. Say yes, please. Yes, please, Miss Mercy. Give me that new love. Move the bus to New Love Town. We sick of the dusty, busty crusties of the past. Yes. Singles and ready to mingle. Or it's complicated. No judgment. Okay, let's get into it. Let's get into it. Yeah, she said new love only, please. We are going to do some free yes or no questions, guys, after the New Love Collective. It's complicated. We will get into that shortly. For those who are asking about the donation list, let me just check where you are on the list. Let me just check. Okay, we have one more spot on the list. If you guys are wanting to get on the list, the link is in my bio. It says TikTok readings. No, Miss Amy. I won't accept the sads around here. I'm sending you a hug right now. If you guys are wanting to get on the donation list, you know what to do. My website's in my bio. Love or career readings are 26. Soulmate Twin Flame 36. Full year is 46. One more spot. Uno más. Okay, go snag it right now. It's like 70% off my regular pricing, and we always book out. So let's get into it. We're going to do some new love first. We'll do a few messages after that for the Lionsgate if we have time, and then we'll get into some free yes or no questions. Yes! She says single and it feels great. What does this collective need to know? Those who are single. Aw, Sarah. She's like, I came for light and fluffy, but it was deep and messy, and I loved it. What do we need to know about new love from my collective? I like to see it, sweets. Oh, you're so sweet, Miss Rachel. Okay. Oh. Okay. Dang. Okay. Yes, kidder. I feel within this collective, there is this energy here of feeling like you really want to be able to manifest. I love you, Rachel. Feeling like you want to be able to manifest a long-term relationship. You want something that feels like not only just foundational, stable, like you're not just looking for commitment. You want soulful love. Like you want a love that is deep and unyielding. You want like romance. Like this is a collective that wants to really be in love and experience unconditional love. It's like you just don't want any type of ordinary, run-of-the-mill relationship. You don't want to settle. You don't want to just be in a relationship for the sake of being in a relationship. I feel this collective is like, no, I really want to feel it. I want spiritual love. I want divine love. I want it to be deep and unconditional. I want to feel truly connected to my partner. But here's the problem. Here's the problem in this collective. You feel like the options you've had recently have not fulfilled these requirements, okay? Many of you feel like the options that you've experienced, at least as of late, have been somewhat boring or mundane or like just are just not even scratching the surface. Like not even scratching the surface in terms of the depth that you're seeking. Maybe you feel like the people around you are just seeking something casual or transactional, or like you're not, for some of you, what I'm getting in the singles collective, even the people that you've been talking to, you're not even really excited to go on a date with them, or like even the conversations feel boring. You're just like, ugh. This is a collective that's like, no, I want love. Like I want to be excited to connect with you. I want to not be able to get enough of you. Not this conversation of like, how was your day? What's the weather outside? Like this is a collective that has not been satisfied by, we'll say, the offering that has been around this singles collective, at least as of late. You could have been dealing with an air sign specifically, okay? But yeah, many of you, I keep getting this energy of like the depth within your energy. And also just for some of you, the singles collective have been through so much in love that you are, there's two cohorts here. There's a cohort in this collective that feels really bored and unenthusiastic about these like lame tire kickers who are coming in just to ask you really boring, lame questions, and or like are making conversation, but you'd literally rather watch snails in a bed of molasses going across the street while they're watching paint dry. Like that's that energy. That's one part of this collective. Like you're so bored by the options that you have. And then there's another part of this collective that has been through so much in love. You've experienced so many emotionally draining relationships, karmic relationships, people that took everything out of you, that you're being a little bit more cautious this time around. You're being a little bit more cautious. You're being a little bit more aware. You're being more discerning than you have in the past. Maybe you feel like in the past, you'd meet someone and you'd be like, let's get married. Like instantly, you'd be sure about the person. Maybe you felt like you choose the wrong people in the past. And yeah, I feel now for the first time, this collective is just more aware, more discerning. And you're seeing things in a different way than you did in the past, okay? You're asking tough questions where maybe in the past you didn't ask tough questions. You're recognizing red flags. So even though you want this love so badly, it's like you're maybe moving a little bit slower or going out with less people. So it feels a little bit frustrating for this collective because you know what you want, but you don't feel like you're making progress, okay? That is a lot. That's a lot of background. That's a lot of context. Who are the energies around this collective right now? What do we need to know? Oh, damn. I feel for many of you, someone is going to come in very unexpectedly here. Some of you have two people in your energy, okay? So is the singles collective that gets to have fun. And the past love collective that just has to hear about someone who's thinking about them every night and who's dreaming about them but isn't doing jack shit. But this singles collective, y'all got two people barking up your tree, okay? One could be a fire sign specifically. One could be an earth sign. I see this fire sign could be younger than you, or maybe someone, again, who's coming in just to be able to see what the potential is. Very strong passion here, okay? This could be someone you're already connected to, or someone who's going to be coming in the very near future. Like quick movement. We like to see it, okay? We ain't wasting time here. This is good, because again, this singles collective, I feel like you've been waiting for a long time. There's also an earth sign here. I like the cut of their jib. I'm getting a Capricorn energy here specifically. I heard older. I heard the initial D. This is a partner that has long-term potential. I feel this energy of September, like end of August, early September, could be Virgo season specifically. What is my collective going to think of this new person? Oh. So, I love this collective so much. You guys, I like how confident you are, and I like the fact that you are not, like I said, rushing everything, even though you really want this. It's like you're still evaluating. So even though this person, I feel like, meets a lot of your requirements or satisfies a lot of what you're looking for, some of you are just going to be like, okay, we'll invest in this and see where it goes. But you're not accelerating things. Like you're not missing out on the natural process of a relationship unfolding. And you're actually going to look at this and assess this. You're in this Empress energy, King of Pentacles here. It's like, you might even feel like, you might even ask yourself, like, does this person have enough to offer me? Or like, are they on my level? Do they check off the boxes? Even though they do to some degree. I feel for many of you, you are going to be evaluating. Okay? So what is the advice for the singles collective for this specific person? I feel for many of you, this is somebody who is going to make you feel special. Okay? This is definitely someone who's going to take you out. This could be someone who could like buy you nice things, romance you, wine and dine you. I wouldn't rush this relationship though. I feel like your instinct is correct. Your instinct is telling you that what you're going to build or what you want to build with an ideal partner needs to be structurally sound. Your instinct is telling you the foundation needs to be stable and that you need to learn more about this person before you decide that they're your forever person, and that you actually want this relationship to grow progressively. So I feel for many of you, it's like you're being pragmatic. You are falling in love, but it's in a different way here. Within this collective, I do see that you will fall for this person, but it feels like a slow burn love. It feels like a love that is experienced through a different lens than what you've experienced in the past. Because you're actually allowing yourself to truly get to know this person, and not just the potential of who they could be. Not just the fantasy of who they present themselves to be, or like get all caught up in the passion and the excitement. You're slowly evolving and like growing in this relationship. And this is also somebody who's like treating you with respect and dignity. And they're also showing you like through their behaviors and their actions and consistencies, communication. This is also somebody who comes through as like being successful and like established within their life. And someone as well who's not going to be like dropping everything else in their life to chase after you, because again, that wouldn't be healthy either. So I feel like both of you are looking at this more practically, but I also feel like there is real love here. There is real love here. And yeah, actions over words every time. Like words are pretty, but without the actions to match, if anything, they could be more dangerous. Just remember that. I remember there's this phase here in the collective for a time where everyone was just looking for someone to tell them how they felt or confess. And it's like, that is wonderful. But what have you done for me lately? Okay. What actions have you done? Are you going to mow the lawn for me? You're going to take the cat to the vet? What actions? Like, you want to see it through their actions. Love is a verb. Okay. Love is a verb. So let's get some advice for the singles collective. Although I feel like in the singles collective, you know what you're doing. Yeah, you know what you're doing. You are firmly rooted in an awareness of what you need to feel successful. You are very mindful of your energy in terms of what you're investing. You're being very pragmatic. This is a very confident energy. Sixes are like really focused on personal victory or like the pinnacle of personal achievement. So this is a collective that's done a lot of soul work, and you may even be happy outside of the area of love within your life, to the extent where it's like you're not desperately seeking this, which is why you've been willing to be patient in the process. You haven't been rushing it because you know what you're looking for. And like maybe you feel like it is a fairy tale, or maybe there's a part of you that feels like it's a 1 in a million, but you're willing to wait. You're willing to be patient for the right love, because you truly do want to feel that deep soulful love, but also someone who's going to take good care of you. Okay? So I hope that message was helpful for my collective. Sending so much love, positive energy, and abundance. If you enjoyed that collective message, if you resonated, 777 down below.